Okay, so yesterday when we met, we had some really good conversations. I'm really happy about that. We had real conversations. Um, we talked about that I know that everything that I'm going through is for my higher good, that I know that everything that I am all of the lessons that I'm being taught on this journey and all of the, like the emotional breakdowns and the, tria, how do you say tria? Like pushing me away is all for my higher good. Like even the date video, the the hostage date video that he did, it taught me so much. It taught me what it feels like to go over a boundary, even if it was a small boundary in my book or not even a boundary. Well, I guess it is. If it touches anybody in that way, if you put somebody out, I don't want to put somebody out. I don't want to make somebody, offend somebody or take up somebody's personal space. I don't want to be like that. So I would rather know and be able to not do that with anybody without asking or talking about it first or even getting into a situation like that. But how I can even see that that was for my higher good, just in the lesson that I just said, and also in the way that I can understand now what it feels like to be put in that position as the predator position. You hear all the time of people that go through things like that, that that their personalities are torn apart over something minuscule, and you can see now, like I can feel now what it feels like to be on that side of the stick. Not that I'm taking it too awful hard, not, but it was like a shocker. I got the taste of it. Yeah, it's not like I'm dwelling on it or holding anything because of it. I'm just still learning. But my kids saw it, that hostage date video. Let's just say that they're also doing work with it. Their work looks different than my work, though. Mr. Smarty Pants sure does know how to pull the fire. He likes it hot. He sure does know how to pull the fire. It's like he walks into a room and he pulls the fire. He pulls all the air out of the room, too. Like in a totally off the wall, like, what the hell? Your life just became interesting kind of way. Like, what's going on here? What's that dude? He has that effect. And it's not just because I'm me. It's because he's him. It's like it works on it's not just me. It's a crowd thing. So maybe I'm so drawn to him because of that charisma, that funky funk he's got going on. So I was just sitting here thinking when I was whipping out the camera to do this video, I was thinking to myself, if I put half of the energy, of the think time into my workshop as I do on Mr. Fancy Pants, my workshop would be like skyrocketing. See, I want to take that energy and like move it over into my life. Well, I guess that is part of my life. I guess that's a huge part of my life. It's my whole being is changing and traveling and getting connected. Like everything is moving. even realities, or moving through realities, different dimensions. But we had some really good conversations. So we had that conversation that we were, that that I know that this is all for my higher good. I always see the good at the end of the lesson. I get the pain, and even during the pain anymore, I'm already at the lesson. Like I'm just going through the pain of it, but I already have it. Like anymore, I just get it almost instantly. But it's still like opening up all those little Pandora boxes down at the bottom of your gut. You know, it's painful because you have to change your core beliefs. You change everything that your whole life was based on. So it's way down there in your core, and then it has all of these little, like roots that grow out of it. And you have to change your thought patterns, and your mind is used to going to these certain ways of thinking, and all of a sudden you have to really pay attention because your mind wants to keep slipping back. So it's like doing the work. So it's like, it's also really, it can be like time consuming too, being consuming. But at the same time, the taste is so sweet. The taste of going up into those higher realms, and the higher understandings, and connected to yourself, and seeing this world around you as a completely different place. It's everything is just in such synchronicity and united and connected, and regardless if you are aware of it or not, regardless if you are connected. That is why the humanity is connected to nature. That is why nature is affected by what we're doing, because we're all connected. So whatever we do has a direct effect on nature around us, because we're a part of it. It's the cause and the effect, the butterfly effect. Another thing that we were talking about was that, it could seem like I'm at his beck and call, like I'm obsessive, and like all he has to do is call and I go running, and it's true. But I'm there by choice, and that was something that we also talked about. That it's not that he has power over me. I'm there by choice. I have the choice to say yes or no, and that I know that. And so I am standing there in my full power, knowing exactly what it is. He's never told me anything different in this 3D world. I pick up on energies and all sorts of subliminal things that he's sending my way, and also like telepathic tickles. I get all sorts of telepathic tickles and pokes too. Telepathic pokes. That's just lovely. It's lovely when you don't even have your own being to yourself. Like somebody can come in from under and poke you in all sorts of different ways. I loved his parting gift. That was something else. His parting gift was that he was telling me how it is to, um, make love to him. And so he kind of like told me how good it was and stuff. And I said, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And he said, it's my going away present." Yeah, and that is after, in the same day, in the beginning of the day, he told me that when women fantasize about him, he can pick up on it telepathically. And then he goes and gives me like fuel for the fire. He's so slick. See? Who was that present for? Yeah, who was that present for? In the end, if he picks up on it telepathically, who was that present for? Dude. He's so funny. He's so funny. He's so funny. He's so funny. What? In the morning, he tells me that he picks up on it telepathically, and then in the evening, he sends me off with like a fantasy in my mind. I mean, you have to see the humor in it. You have to see the humor in it. That is just too funny. That is just too funny. There are people down in the valley, and I saw them looking up at me before and kind of pointing. And I'm wondering, because there's an echo in this valley, I'm wondering if they can hear me talking, and I'm like talking to myself. Surely they see the camera. I don't think it matters. It's just a thought that came to my mind. Lola. So that was the second thing that we talked about. That was a real, like down to earth, real talk that wasn't like talking above everything or like, you know, uh, like not talking in riddles. And so I told him that I'm there fully knowing what it is. He never fully knowing what it is. I'm in my own strength there. I know what it is. I know the lessons that I keep coming back and getting. And that I'm there by choice. And it's true. And it feels good to be able to say that too, you know. I just go with what I feel. And I want to be next to him. And if he calls me and gives me an opportunity to come and see him when it's suitable for him and he wants, yeah, I don't see it as anything but that. And that's what it is. And he knows that I want to see him. So I have really good friends. I had a conversation today with a really good friend. You know, that he told me that he's watching my videos, which is like complimentary. Complimentary, but also at the same time, it's kind of like people are really watching these videos. I feel like all of my private crazies are out in the open. Oh, my daughter-in-law was, she's like my son's girlfriend. It kind of feels already like family. And so she came over on Friday and she watches my video. And she's like, "So what's going on? Is there any juice?" It's like, wait a minute, I don't know where she is in the plot. Where, like, what, what part of the storyline did she get to? Like, what juice is she digging for? Like, and so it was really funny. It was really funny, and she said, that this, a lot of the things that you say kind of can be a little bit sounding like you're crazy. Like, the things happen, they happen gradually. And you can see these new truths, and they're just like obvious to you because you see them all around you, energies and things like that. You just see them all around you, and they're obvious. And, and then, like, when she said that, like, I've also had the thought before because, like I've said, a year ago, if you would have told me where I would be today and the things that I would be talking about today, I would have been like, no way, that's like out of this world. Even talking about past lives, and now I can remember past lives. That's like, where did that come from? What? And, but it's becoming like once you see it and it becomes obvious to you, it becomes your reality, and it's just what it is. I mean, it's obvious to me. I can feel the energies. I can feel energy shifts. I can, you know, and so, and I can see this journey as something that is divine. Like this journey, all of a sudden you understand that there are different realms here, and you were always connected to them. And all of a sudden you can see the light and the dark, and you can see um, that heaven is on earth. You see that there's different dimensions. All of a sudden you can see where you're all stopped up, or you can really see where other people are stopped up. I mean, it's easier to see other people than it is yourself. And the more you clean, like the more you see yourself, the more you clean yourself, because you can't sit in error. And also the cleansing of your own soul feels so good that it becomes like your number one priority in life is this self-cleansing and self-releasing obsession. And I think that also is part of this obsession with your twin, because your twin brings you these reflections of yourself. A lot of times we go running because we're so scared to face them. It's like seeing yourself in this like raw mirror, like, and you see everything. And that was another thing that we talked about. And another thing that we talked about also was that in this past year and the work that we're doing together, that we're both becoming stronger. And it's like being on the opposite side of a stick. Like he's learning how far he can go with somebody, like in the kind of lashing. And at the same time, I am having to take it. So it's like standing up in it. So I'm becoming stronger too, because the more we go down this journey, the more I can take, coming into my full being or my full strength. Oh wow, my root chakra just opened wide up, like pff, I'm sitting here on the ground in the opening to this big massive cave that has all sorts of other little caves. I hiked up from down there. I came that way, from that way. And this is the other side. There are more caves this way, and they kind of go up that way. I don't know how far you can see it. There's more caves. There's a whole cave system there. Ancient people lived here. You can also see that, well, first of all, you can see that a lot of it is carved out. And I found like cisterns on this mountain where they would have, held rainwater. And they also had that, half of the year, the stream here, the river runs from underground water that comes through this valley. This would have been the channel, the where you would have gone from Galilee, let's say Kinsar, Magdala, even Tiberias, even, if you wanted to go further up to like Tzfat and that area, this would have been the way, the path. So everything is so symbolic. like I'm right here. This cave would have been, cave dwellers that lived in this passageway. And I believe that Jesus walked through here. It would have been the path from the Galilee over here up to Tzfat, up to Mount Hermon, up to what is that one called? Caesarea. I don't know. I don't know. And there's another city up there by the Hermon Mountain, on the foot of the Hermon Mountain, that that is written that he was in. So I'm sure that he traveled this route. I mean, more. It's likely. What else did we talk about? Everybody had knafe. Oh, we had long conversations, but also like funny stuff, really funny stuff. And I love it when he calls me Miss Universe. Whenever I come out on some kind of magnificent spiel that I get going, and then he calls me Miss Universe, which just like totally depletes anything that I just said. Anything that I just said is like, it goes down the drain. It becomes like hogwash. And then he tells me something really simple that's like one level under what I said. What I said is just like, I don't know, the hair flying in the wind. So if I put like half of the effort, or half of the mind time into this workshop that I'm building, I would already have like a couple of workshops under my belt. And that was where I was going, because my friend, and he's really sweet, and and so he told me, and he kind of beat around the bush a little bit, a little bit like built up for telling me that I should draw my energy back to myself. But he was exactly spot on with every word he said. He said, draw your energy back to yourself. And he also said that all of the things that I see in my twin, he knows him. And so he says, all of the things that I see in my twin, he sees in me. And that is like a wonderful reflection. So he said, just take your energy off and put it into your greatness. And I feel like also he's saying it back to himself, because you have to know those things in yourself to be able to see them on somebody else. So I know that he has those things in him, besides because I know him. Like he's super special. And he's absolutely right. In any case, he's absolutely right. Regardless if he's in my life or not in my life, my focus needs to be on my life and getting my things in order. And that was also something that my twin said the other night when I left. He said, get your life in order. Get your freaking life in order. He didn't say it like that. I'm saying it like that. Getting your life in order. And that's why I'm saying, like, if I took my energy away of into my thoughts and my energy off of him and drew them back into my life and put them on this workshop that I'm doing, or whatever it's going to be, onto me, put the focus onto me. Regardless, he could be right next to me and still I have my focus on me. That's where my focus needs to be. I want to be excited about my life. If I want to be excited about my life, I need to just get excited about my life. Just to get some excitement going, get some balls rolling. And that's I feel like I'm on the right track for that, because I feel like things are good right now. It's funny. Things are good right now. And I feel like a lot of it is faith. My hair still smells a little bit like when I go to the hot springs. A lot of times they feel it, that it smells like sulfur. So it takes like sometimes up to a week to get the smell out of my hair. Even when you shower and everything. But I like the smell. My mom says I always smell like boiled eggs. So at the same time, I feel like I'm coming into myself, and I'm coming into myself at a rapid rate. I mean, this is happening super fast. I can feel, especially in the last few days, there's been like, ever since the last few days, there has been like an increase in energy, and there's been an increase in time lapse. Like I'm moving much quicker through time, and everything that is happening, the shifting is happening faster and faster. It's like going through a tunnel and being pulled out the other side, or into a black hole, or up a spiral, or moving into a dimension where you're moving over and you still have one foot over there, but you're being pulled in. It's like you're so far over already that you can't. It's like going through a tunnel. It's like you're so far over already, there's no going backwards. And the universe is also like pushing you out, and the worries about the old world are becoming further and further away, and more of like a distant nag. Like I can see my sales going down in Amazon because of everything that happened, and it's almost like it's a distant, even though it hasn't opened up in front of me yet. I still know that I'm going into this new world. Like I'm already there. I can already see it. I'm already switching. And then there's those glitches back into the old world. But they're getting more and more distant, and they're getting further and further apart. And I am feeling stronger and stronger in the new world. And myself is getting much, much more pure and clean and evident, and galilee, evident, like to myself. I'm able to see myself clearer and clearer and clearer, to where it's almost like I'm standing in my full strength. I'm getting there. And as I get there, like I trust, because I can see it already, that when you get there, you can't not be you. And the you that you are is shines outward, and you just become. You don't really have to do anything to become. You just become who you are and what you are, and bring the messages that you brought to bring, and find, just put them out there, and then that in itself becomes it. That's what you do, is be. See, I'm liking this video. This is a good one. Getting lots of things worked out, and I'm kind of telling about all of these. I said we had really good conversations yesterday, and after we have good conversations like that, it's like my mind goes, my mind is like wide open, and then tick 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 tick, I start getting all of the little comprehensions. Oh, that, and connections in between everything. And as I talk, I work them out. But I'm really happy about the conversations that we had yesterday. They were, I feel like we really talked about the things. We put them on the table, where we each stand in the relationship, kind of. that there's a lot of things that are subliminal, a lot of things that are under the table. There's a lot of different conversations going on that can't be going on the surface, but they're going on under the surface, kind of half telepathically, half hintingly, half sending energies, but sending like a message that is under the table, that telling a story in another story. Yeah, it's like speaking parables to one another. His mind is sharp, sharp, sharp. He reflects people back to themselves because of the work that he's done within himself and the clarity that he has gotten to, and just natural born talent. Because the things that he says, I'm not even sure he knows what he says. I see the effects. I see what he says, and I see the effects. And I think sometimes the effects that I see, that he doesn't even realize what he's done. And stories that I can see. And I can also see like the effects that it has on people, not knowing what the story is, but I can see that it's hitting them and that it's hitting them home. And I imagine that that would have been what it felt like to meet, up against your purest self and see all the layers that are on top. Okay, well, I'm going to end this here. I'm going to sit here probably for a little bit longer and just kind of maybe watch the birds. So, look at that tree down there. It looks like something out of a Harry Potter movie. And there's birds flying around up here. It's like, in a minute, when it gets to be twilight, then the birds really start going here, and all the birds that live in here, they go out like on a frenzy and sunset and sunrise. Okay, so I'm going to end this here. Thank you for watching. Sending you lots of love.